We now consider review problem 1.2. We have 20 numbers here, and we're going to make a histogram using the left endpoint convention. And we will do so using the classes from 0 to 5, from 5 to 10, from 10 to 20, and also from 20 to 30, using the left endpoint convention. So let's figure out the frequency, the number of things that are in each block. Well, from 0 to 5, using the left endpoint convention, there are 2. 5 will get put into the second category, but 0 and 3, there's 2 of them in that category. Using the left endpoint convention, from 5 to 10, we have 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things. Again, we don't count 10, so we have 8 things in that block. From 10 to 20, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things in that block. And finally, we have only one thing that's between 20 and 30. So that's the frequencies. The next thing we do is figure out the relative frequencies, which basically means take all of those numbers and divide by the total number of things. So 2 divided by 20 would be 0.1. 8 divided by 20 would be 0.4. 9 divided by 20 would be 0.45. And 1 divided by 20 would be 0.05. And I divide by 20 each time because there were 20 numbers down here that I'm looking at. The next step to draw a histogram is to figure out the density, which means I'm going to account for the different widths of the different categories. So to begin, I take 0.1 and divide by the width of this block, so 0.1 divided by 5. 0.1 divided by 5 is 0.02. Next, I take 0.4 divided by the width of this block. 0.4 divided by 5 is 0.08. Next, I take 0.45 divided by the width of that block. So I have 0.45 divided by 10, because 20 minus 10 is 10. So I have a density of 0.045. Finally, I take 0.05 divided by 10, and that gives me the density of 0.005. The densities will be the heights of the rectangles that I have when I draw the histogram. So over here I have blocks from, say, 10, 20, 30. Five would be about here. The density scale up here, I have 0.01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, and 08. Okay, so let's now draw the blocks. From 0 to 5, I have a block of height 0.02, so that'll be right here. From 5 to 10, I have a block of height 0.08, so that's a rectangle. Obviously, I'm not drawing it very well here. 0.08. 0.045. 045 would be about here between 0.04 and 0.05. And finally, the last block would be 0.005, which would be down here. So it's a little bit hard for me to draw this with the stylus, but if I could draw accurately with on the screen here, that would be the histogram. This is the density. And this mark would be 0.02 all the way up to 0.08. And the areas of each of these blocks would represent the relative frequencies. So the sum of these numbers would equal to 1, and therefore the sum of the areas of these rectangles would also be equal to 1.